Hello everybody, I'm just checking to see. Oh, it is officially afternoon now. So I'm trying to start these videos earlier, but I'm still not succeeding because they take me a long time to get them. Well, because I have to do several clips in one to put them all together, edit them together, and then download them and then upload them to YouTube. It takes about 2 hours to do all that. So I'm trying to start earlier to see if I can get it up earlier. My goal next week is to try to be up and get it done first thing in the morning. I'm just not a morning person, so it takes a long time for me to get going in the morning. So today we're going to be working on clusters using scraps. This is some of the stamped. I continued after making more stamps. This one turned out really good. This was just some plain white cardstock and a stamp I have, and then I inked it, and I did it with file folder as well. It really does turn out really well. So these will be going in the prize envelope along with the other little bits from other things as well. I stamped a lot yesterday to the point where my hand was cramping and I had to stop. I need to put this in a little something. Oh, I know. We need a little paper bag, a nice little bag to put them in. Let me see what I have handy here so I don't lose it. I need to order some more little cellophane bags because I am almost out. So that be ready. I might add a couple more little stamped images later to it. Just some of the bigger flowers I want to add to that. And then I have 2 packages ready to be, they're going to be in my store. Well, I have 2 packages ready and another, a package each of these, but 2 of each of these ready to go. So in this one, it's all scraps and it's all my stamps. This one is flowers, bird. It's only got a couple birds. I'm still working with I don't have a lot of bird stamps, and it's got butterflies in it. I don't know how many pieces. There's a lot of pieces in here. And then as well, let me just pull it out real quick. So I did some of these nice long ones that are great. You can trim them up and put them in. That's one of the birds. More birds. I did some, like I punched out a circle from one of my scraps and then put a nice flower in the middle. I did the same with a couple butterflies. And you'll see that I have all kinds of different size butterflies, all kinds of different colors. I did a torn one. I did one on a scallop using paper. I added in 2 clusters of scraps with stamps on them. A heart-shaped one with a butterfly. I added in 4 of these. I love how these turned out using the scrap paper. Some of these large, beautiful flowers, more butterflies. It's a little bird on a flower stamp I have. Some greenery, just a little bit of greenery, and there's some of those little roses. And then I have that one, another one of those roses, more butterflies, little tiny flowers, lots of little tiny ones. As you can see, more tiny, 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 and a really couple really tiny butterflies. And then if there's something in particular you say, look, I really like those little wee butterflies, I can always stamp a couple more and add them to it as well. And then these large flowers, this one turned out really cool. I used a purple and a pink and a turquoise, and it came out really cool. So there's lots of assortment of flowers in this for you. I'll just now put it all back in the bag. And this will be $3 plus the shipping. And the shipping would be $2. Unfortunately, that's as cheap as the shipping gets nowadays. If you want more than one, I can, like, for instance, if you ordered both packs, I would charge $2 for the shipping for both of them because they would both come in the $2 mark. Now, if you ordered 4 of them, I might have to go up $1 in the shipping. So depending, I can work with the shipping and combine shipping prices as well. But if you bought both packs of these two different type of stamped images, then they're flat enough that the shipping would be still keep it within the $2 mark. I'm just trying to get them all back in there again. And these are great for using in clusters, snippet rolls, on papers, even these little ones. If you just want something small to decorate a page, it looks great there. They're great even on a cluster by itself. Lots of uses for them. And it's also great if you're not somebody who has digital. Stamps come in real handy to put on too. That's one of the packages in this package. And again, I did all these with scraps till my hands were cramping last night. Because I had misplaced these scissors, so I was using really tiny scissors that didn't have enough room for my fingers. So I added a couple of these in. I put in this. There's small, large, and lots of different types of tickets. These are great for using in clusters. Really good for using in clusters, these ticket ones. And some of them are on a harder cardstock. This is a little bit thinner because it's the ship packing paper. So these are really cute. So there's lots of little great things to add into. I added 3 different style bingos in there. I should have counted while I did that to tell you how many's there. Then I threw these 2 clusters in that I did. Again, you could add more to this cluster if you wanted it, or if you wanted it like this. That all depended on you. And then I made that cluster, which you watched me make yesterday in yesterday's video. And again, I just added some more. I might add a couple more into this because I'm going to count them up later before I put them up in the shop. And I'll tell you how many's there. And I like to balance them out the same. So there we go. So those packets will be up for sale in my Purple Hearts Creation by Chrissy on Facebook. And they will be $3 each, $2 for shipping, whether you buy 1 or 2. If you buy both of them, it'd be $6 plus $2. If you buy one, it would be $3 plus $2. So it actually probably a better deal to get both. If you want 2 of these, I can send you 2 of these. If you want 2 of these, I can send you 2 of those. So you just let me know. I put them separately like that just so that, because I used to sell them all in big one clump, but I've changed that up. Oh, look, I have another butterfly sitting right here. Let's just throw her in there. She was just, I don't know why she was sitting up there all by her lonesome. So there we go. I have to add butterflies into the freebie one as well. Well, this is going in the gift, the Happy Mail that I'm making 3 of them up. What it is everybody who participates throughout this week of the scrap get organized with scraps. So if you showed me a picture of your scraps on the group Junk Journal Craft and Chat, you get an entry into it. If you participated, if you did, and like the Scrappy Hearts, you made any of the stuff and you showed a picture of it. If you liked and comment the video, you can't just like it because it doesn't show me who liked it. You must like and comment to get a name in the entry. And if you're a new subscriber, you will as well get your name in the entry. If you come and join Junk Journal Craft and Chat and you get involved, your name can go even more. Depending on how many people, it can be. Right now, I know for sure there will be 3 prizes. And so please join us and help. And when you like and comment and subscribe to my channel, it's great that you subscribe, and I love that. But really, for YouTubers, it's important that you like it and comment. I know like yesterday I had like 30 people watched my video, but only one like. It doesn't, I love the fact that you're watching it because I want you to be inspired. But to really help me, please even just click the like. And, you know, quick comment, great video. It doesn't have to be long. You know, just, oh, you know, just a little something would be perfect to help me build the YouTube, because it all helps of my algorithm. So the more likes and more comments I get, it puts me more front, and more people will visually see it more often, which then helps me. So please, kind of begging, please comment, please like, and please subscribe. Well, I've done really well in this past few days. I think I've added 10 new subscribers. And again, once I get to 100, and everybody, I'm going to go over my videos starting just as of January 1st. Anybody between January 1st and to when I get to 100, whoever subscribed, because I get the names of who's subscribed, I will, when I reach the 100, and also those that I know subscribed as well, I'm going to go back and look to see what I can find. From January 1st and on, because I'm trying to get to 100. I was at 52, and I think I'm at 63 now, maybe 64, so I'm doing well. So let me stop talking. Well, I'm going to still talk, but let's get started. What we're going to do today is clusters with scraps. Two ways you can put them together. You can use your stapler, you can use your glue stick. I do both sometimes. Excuse me, but I've become a bad habit of stapling. It's something I enjoy. Now I'm just going to pull something out. I was trying to decide, and even last night I kind of laid awake for a few minutes trying to think, are we going to decorate them, or we're just going to make the bases? I always keep clusters on hand, as you can see, and I have them in baskets. I don't know why I have 3 baskets right now. Oh, I know why. This basket is, I don't know why I have 3 baskets. I got to sort through. It used to only be 3 baskets, and now I'm 4. This one, I just haven't put those in the right place. This is mostly, this is a base. It's supposed to be there. Is my ones when I use lace and fabric. Then I usually have ones, then just I think maybe because I have so many. Ones that are done, that are embellished, I keep in one. This I have to find a better way to store it because it's getting bent up. It was something new I tried, using just scraps and labels. So, and then I always have bases. Now I'm gonna start. I probably will still keep bases, but I'm finding I'm getting a buildup of bases and I'm not using them enough. So this will be my goal, to do something with some of my bases, because I'm going to create more bases. But when we do fussy cutting, bases, this. I like these baskets because they kind of stack on top of each other. So when I'm doing clusters, I just pull those out and go. So I have to find a place for those 2 flowers. They keep flopping around in different places. So let's get started. You know, depending on you can make them in all different sizes. I don't know why that's in there. And I do sometimes scraps, and I later will do more cluster making. I love clusters. Sometimes I do really good at clusters, but I overthink them a lot. I see other people just throw them together really easily. I don't have that same flow. I'm trying to work out a better flow of it. I have my small pieces that some of them I'll use in there as well. And my bags are here. So I just happen to have this. I like to ink. I'm an inker, so you don't have to necessarily do that. So now there's several ways to do it. Maybe what I should do, I'll start with one type. I just don't know what paper I have. I hate using... I'm one of those people that I don't use my tea dye a lot for my background, only because it takes me a lot to tea dye. So if you give me... Oh, maybe I have something down here that I can... That's printed documents. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to find something really quick. Boop. Maybe it'd be easier if I just pull the file out. Let me see what I've got here. These are printed papers, but I don't want to use the ones that I got on front and back because that's a waste of my precious ink. See if I've got any in here. These are all front and back. Oh, I'm going to sneeze, guys. Give me a second. Excuse me. I think I've been fighting a cold all week. I'm really tired. I've had a headache in my eyes all week. And I've been sneezing, but that's about it that happens. Nothing else more comes. So it's really frustrating me. Okay. I was hoping I just have one simple one that I could use, but of course I didn't plan that well because I just decided to do it at the last minute. So if you give me 2 seconds, I wanted to show the style and I forgot that I had planned to show this style. So, and I apologize for this. And nothing wants to pull up on my computer. How's everybody's day going? Mine is a slow start. I have to figure, this week I'm making a lot of videos. I don't know if every week I'm going to make a video every day because it's very time consuming. And I'm not getting journal to work on my journals. And I have a journal that somebody has pre-ordered that I have to make. It's a commissioned journal. So I've got to focus on it a bit. So it may be only 3 videos a week, maybe 4 tops, so that I can be able to work on that. Let me just pull this. And what tomorrow we're doing Scrappy Notepads, and then Saturday is Scrappy clusters, but we're going to use lace scraps, fabric scraps, and paper scraps, and make another kind of cluster as well. Now that's hope, because sometimes my printer's really funny. I have to try printing it 3 times. I don't know why it does that. It's just the way it is, and I just deal with it. So I'm just going to pull out some pieces right now that we can use get some nice colored pieces out. Now, I have a question, and that's because I use a lot of digitals, because I can't get my hands on magazines. So even when I haven't done much collaging lately. I need to get back into it because it's something I really, really, really enjoy. Just pulling out some colored, sorting through and seeing what I have in some colored, because I have lots of book pages and that. And again, you might not have digitals to use. You might have just your different papers. You might have your scrapbooking paper. Anything is usable in these, what you have in scraps. I just print. I love digitals a lot. So what some people do, now my printer always has a border. I'm going to trim it up really quick. This way I have tried and tried. I'm not good at this way, guys. So bear with me as I'm doing this. because it's not, I watch other ladies do this way, and it's so easy for them, and for me it's not so much. And when I do clusters, I do like to have different, sometimes I have a hard time because I don't want all the same color, even though you could ink it and it does stand out more. But I like to keep a variety of interests and textures, and so let me just pull those up so I can lay this down. So one of the ways people do it is they have, sometimes a lot of people use their dyed paper. It takes a lot for me to dye where I live because I'm in the basement and it takes a long time to dry. I don't have my own personal kitchen. I go upstairs and use the kitchen, and he does not like me to use the oven to dry paper. He watches the electricity cost. So I have to let it dry naturally. So it takes a long time sometimes. So I know what some people do. They take it and they do it this way. Let me grab some book pages, and what they'll do is sometimes they'll lay just the book pages first. Different things like that, or music, and they do it by layers like that. I never really do that but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it with you guys. I keep yawning and I apologize. I feel like I could have just stayed in bed today. I felt that all week. I'm normally somebody who's a little bit more tired. It has to do with my thyroid condition. And even sometimes my depression does it to me as well. But this week, I think I could this week I felt like I could spend all day. And you can do them different sizes depending what you want. I'm just trying to find, I have a lot of, because my book pages I trim them up usually in lengths. I don't get a lot of round pieces. But that's easy to fix. I can tear them. And I might make a nice long one. But if I do, it's going to go this way. So it can go on a side. So that might be better up here. And I know they do more like this, and they'll lay it out. I'm going to pull this one out. I don't necessarily always make big clusters. Maybe I'll go this way. What I'm going to do is ink up as I put it down, sort of. The reason I find this more difficult, because I find it easier for me to move paper around in my hand than laying it out on the paper. I know some videos I watched them do this so fast, and I'm envious because I'm just not that fast with it. Again, here's one of those pieces with a lot of white. Two things you could do. You could put a stamp there if you wanted to. But in some cases, what you can do is, if you want, you could do it more like this and do more of a layered texture like that, if you wanted to. That is totally up to you. Now, how many pieces you use is up to you, because technically this is 4, and that's good enough for me. I don't usually make more than that. So, and I know what they do is they just go, and I'm not going to do a full gluing. I kind of learned that I like it to kind of look loose. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down. And this is just with my scraps. So you can decide if you want it all straight, if you want it diagonal. It's up to you how you want it. There we go. I forgot to ink that. I just want to take some of that white off. So we'll just do it like that. This one, let's go ahead with this. Some people will also use book pages as the background, which is a really good idea too, and I should have done that. I have a really nice, huge dictionary pages. I have a I'm going to tear this in half. I made sure I brought a ruler. I'll put that like that. I'm being paged upstairs by the little one. He just came in from outside. I don't think I want to put another book page. Let's see what we have in music. Music is one that I don't know if you guys get many scraps with music. I don't. I end up pulling out pages to make more scraps. Sometimes I end up that's just a little too long for what I need. So let's take that off. That will be used. Maybe now I made it a little too short. I think I want it wider, but I want it longer. Let's see if I can tear that better and not make it so short this time. Perfect. And I'm just going to ink that up. Get some of that whiteness off of there. Hope I'm not in camera doing this. There we go. And I'm going to leave it just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece down. So you can do it whatever way is comfortable. Sometimes people will go ahead and lay the book page and then just do the next layer. I don't do that well that way. And nothing says you can't take it and make it more crooked. Doesn't have to be all neat like uniformed. Okay. I'm going to make that one a little more crooked. This one is perfect for here. Need to get rid of some of that white here. Sorry, I'm not as talkative because sometimes when I have to concentrate more. There we go. That one's leaving because I know that I have to use bigger paper, so I also try to glue my main page so I can see the layout, because you're going to want to, you have to be able to have enough room to tear this out. Put that down just a touch. Want something under that, maybe. No, that might be perfect for in here. And in this case, this one here might only be 2, because I kind of just want, because like this is when you're digital, if you use digitals, that might be nice on its own. But I still think it need, to me, sometimes the lace is what's really nice. But for those that don't, I want to do kind of a little bit of both. I want to be able to show different ways that you don't always have to use a lot of lace and have a lot of supplies. Sometimes you just have a little bit. Just because I want to, there we go. I like that. This is one thing I can't find, is this, I don't know what to call it. I guess it's homemade paper, but it's got all that nice fibers in it. I don't know what it's called. If anybody knows what it's called, could you please let me know so I can research it to see where I can buy it? I love it. It's a nice, adds a new texture to things. There we go. I just had that digital just to, sometimes I need it to see where I want to put the paper. I needed to cheat a little there. I'm going to have a little visitor in a second. He's coming to tell me something. I can tell because when he came inside, he said, Tia, hello, monkey. What can Tia do for you?
You go to Dollar Tree?
When are we going to Dollar Tree?
You was in Dollar Tree. You buy something for me.
The Black Panther.
No. The boot of Avengers. You did me that.
Where? But I don't know. Where is it?
It's upstairs.
Okay. What are you gonna do with it?
And I don't.
Can you say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody.
All right. Tia's gonna go back to doing what she has to do. Okay.
Yes.
Love you.
Love you.
That is just a part of living here, and it's part that, trust me, he brings a ray of sunshine to my life. We have to go. We have to travel about 45 minutes to get to a Dollar Tree. We don't have one in Quebec. We only have Dollaramas, and Dollaramas are no longer a very good dollar store. They have a lot of good stuff, but you have to be ready to spend money. Like I went in to get like face mask and hand mask and foot mask. They're $4.50 each. If I go to Dollar Tree, I still get them for, I think now Dollar Tree here is $1.50. It used to be $1.25. I think they went up by 25 cents. I don't want to lose that little piece. We'll use that. Maybe that'll be just a little something in here. Yep, we'll go ahead and use that. I don't use a lot of green, so that's surprising for me to, for some reason, I've got a lot of green right now. There we go. So, what other things could I put in the background instead? This has got, trying to not make them all so uniform to all like book pages at the bottom and that. So now what I'm thinking is that fussy cutting is next week. So I might, because I was trying to decide if I should decorate them right now or just make bases, because right now it's technically using scraps. And I don't need a lot of bases made because I have a pile. I got to start using some more of my clusters. It's funny is I have a lot of this with purples, and purple is my favorite color, but I really don't use, I haven't really done any purples in my journal. So I got to start working on that. Let's try to get away. We're using a lot of green, and that's unusual for me, but I don't know if I've got a lot of pink. Let's go to my baggie of digital scraps here. Let's see what here we have. Oh, this has got some interesting text. Again, it's got green in it. I'm trying to get away from green for right now. The reason I have a lot of green is I was doing a journal for a Christmas gift, and I did it with birds and nature. That's a good one to pull out. I'm trying to dig in here. Look, I'm pulling out more green. I think I have so much green because I hardly ever use it. Oh, look at this. This is so cute. Which way does it go? It goes this way. I don't even have to put anything on that one. It's so pretty by itself. I really like it with that green though. But you don't see much of it. What I might do is do this. I'm just gonna... It actually is a scrap off of a digital. And I don't know how I ended up with that, just that little pretty part of the digital that I didn't use. I think I was making pockets or something, so I only used part of the page. I'm not sure. Oh, I really like that there. Now that one got embellished because actually I woke up very hungry today. There's leftover Chinese food upstairs. I didn't end up cooking last night. I was going to make, the little guy loves, he has his two favorite things I make. I cook dinner upstairs for the family because it's one of the way I keep my costs down. I do the cooking, and then that way my groceries are paid for, so it helps me. So I cook, except for normally on Fridays I don't cook because we go grocery shopping at Walmart, and he likes, the little one likes Jacob. He's not so little anymore. He's 7. I don't call him big boy because he's a big boy. That's, I see, and I don't even really have to add anything to this. This cluster is ready for a page. Simple as that. I like this to go upright. And we need a little space right there. So this one might be this way because I need a small one there. Up. Where's my... What I'm going to do is I'm going to tear one of these out so that I can show you. So I'm going to put that kind of up like that. Actually, I think I'll do it this way. I'm going to change that up a bit. I'll go like that. Sometimes that's why I don't necessarily do this way a lot and I staple, because when I play with it, I can change it up. It needs to go. I think we'll go this way. Yeah, we'll put that scrap there. That'd be cute with just a nice yellow butterfly and maybe a little word on it. I thought of some of my clusters that I do, and if anybody wants to comment in there to let me know, would you buy pre-made clusters? I know some people will, because everybody does it different, right? So maybe make one big one here using that paper up. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I need the right paper for that. That's perfect for a long one, so we won't do that. So what I'm gonna do, so basically then what you do is, so that we can move on to my favorite way of doing clusters. This isn't a bad way. I'm not saying it's bad. Everybody has that way that works best with them. Now, depending on how big you want the cluster, you can make this smaller. So it just all depends how you want that to be. This Walnut Grove is, gonna order a new one. And then I will use water and make some grunge paper with that. Because what I might do on this is, you know, for a minute I thought I had a yellow butterfly sitting here. I was sure I did. I actually do. Can you imagine? I could add another butterfly onto that just to make it pop some more. I might choose a smaller one just to sit here, and then I could put a little word in here. So you can add more to that, because I just don't want to hide that because I think it's so pretty. And that's why I'm going to leave this bigger, because I really want to pop another butterfly on here. So that's why I'm going to leave that like that. So basically then, now a lot of times when they do this, they embellish it fully before they tear it. So they layer them and then they put their fussy cuts. So I'm going to leave that one like it, so that when we do fussy cuts, I might pull that out and work on that. But I'll finish up this spot here. Okay. Now my favorite way of doing, a lot of times, this is me. Let me pull this music page out. Let me just ink really quick. So it all depends. And like right now, a lot of my scraps are long, narrow pieces. So, and here's when usually for me personally, I keep some paper clips and because sometimes I will add pieces as I go. What I have here is what I have. And then like, if I find another piece to add to that, it's just the way sometimes I'm doing clusters as I'm looking through my papers. But I do, oh boy, my shoulder's sore. Oh, I'm very hungry. It's funny, and the moment I get on here, I get so darn hungry. ink this up. Let's ink this one up. Because like right now, I can sit for hours and do clusters, but I'm not going to do that with you online. And sometimes right now when I'm putting these together, I'm thinking, okay, I can put a digital there. So I'm going to leave it like that. My other way, you could glue all those pieces. Sometimes I'll just stick a staple. And there we go. And that's how I like to do them. And that's ready. Again, I don't have the right size. These are just some scraps. You know, my picture probably I would put like this, a small picture, or a nice butterfly, depending on what you're using it for. And how many pieces of layering paper you want to use? I use between 3 to 4. Sometimes when I go to finish this off, I might put a little label here or a little number in with the digital, so that will add more layers. But this is kind of what I call a base. So usually it's 3, mostly 3, sometimes 4 is average of what I do for a base. Because then I leave room for adding layers with my digitals and stamps as well. When I'm talking about, I don't have one really handy. Like for instance, I could put that in there and then a picture or the butterfly. So again, it's adding more layers, but it's more the digital layers or the, you know, so that's why sometimes I keep mine very simple like that. So there's another one ready to go. I keep holding on to this because I like it. And I think a nice chunk of music paper would be behind it. Now let's do maybe a nice square one here. Because I'm gonna I like this square one. If you notice, I'm not using a lot of book pages because if you noticed in my bases, I have a lot of book page bases ready. So I'm trying to use up some of my other scraps. Now for me, and again, with this base, right now we're using our scraps. There's nothing wrong. If I had a little piece, maybe I have a little, oh, I don't. If I had a little piece, I do have. Again, you could, right now we're just making bases. You could put your lace in there as well. That doesn't hurt. What else lately I've been using more of, and I just got kind of back into it, is washi tape. I've been like not using the full piece, but I'll take and I'll add a little bling somewhere with a little piece of washi tape. Again, so if you're doing that, like it adds a little something. Again, you could put a button on here. There's so much you can do with them. Even like, for instance, with this, a nice piece of green can add to it as well. So these are just bases. So when you go to do, you can do anything. We're just making scrap bases right now. Doesn't mean you can't use other things. My curiosity is those that don't have digitals. What do you use to do them? I guess die cuts and things like that you buy in stickers is what I'm assuming, because I know I used to use a lot more stickers. I like that. See, and this is where I think this one will suit just a nice piece of lace. For some reason. I don't know if I want anything else in this. Oh, maybe something like that isn't too bad. Do I want the whole thing in there? That works for me. I'm just going to darken that up. That actually works for me. As you can see, I really think about my clusters. I don't just kind of run. Now this one might look nice glued, but I don't mind because I probably would, this staple might come out because I might staple my lace on it. And a lot of times I'll glue my digital on. So, or sometimes I staple. It just all depends on the mood I'm in. So there's another base created. Now I've been doing a lot of big bases, larger ones. I'm going to pull out some little pieces here. That's too big. I say that. That one would look good with that. See this here, because I'm not sure what else to put with that. So it kind of sits there. I have sometimes those in my... With this one, I want to basically just use papers. Plain papers. I'm not going to put a lot of color into it because these ones are ones. Now I'm going to add, oh, it's all upside down. We'll go this way with it then. So I do this. It's a smaller one. But again, I can do two things with this. One, these things that I made with the master scrapboard would look cute on it by itself. Very, very natural. You could take it and put a heart, right? As well as sometimes I just take the stamp. I'm not going to actually stamp it, and I just stamp right onto it. And that's it. That's how I do it. So I keep both of these. And you notice I didn't really, for the first time, I didn't really color it because I want the stamp to stand out. So just using plain papers worked really nicely too. And I do a lot of those. Let's make a couple of those really quick. That's a nice long one. That's too big because it looks awkward. Maybe throw a music behind it. Another music. Now you're thinking, oh, what would I ever use? You'd be surprised what you can use this for. Sometimes I like these and to do on an edge of a page. And I've been kind of breaking out of more of my comfort zone with doing it. I did it in the journal that I made. I don't have... I almost use it. Let me just get a page here. I always turn this journal upside down. So where's that little one? So it could almost be used like a tab. And also with that, what you could do if you have them, and I don't know if I left them on my desk. Yes, I did. If you have these or you make your own, You could add that into your cluster like this. And you don't even have to decorate it. Use it as your tab on here. It could be also, the cluster could be used on the top of a journal like this on a tag. So the clusters can be, you necessarily don't have to decorate that anymore. And you can just use it like that on the top of a tag. This might work on a longer one. Let's just go up here. Look at that. That kind of matches that perfectly. Right? And that could sit on the top of the tag. And it adds a difference. And then I almost would probably unstaple this and then staple it right to it. And I kind of leaving that there because I think I'm going to end up using that on it. Because I really like that. Another way to use a cluster. So I'm hoping I'm giving you some ideas of what different things you can use your scrap clusters for and the different sizes. So always make variety of sizes. You never know what you'll use them for. Like, I didn't even think of that just till now. So it's perfect. So, you know, those little scraps, don't throw them out. They do come in handy. One's kind of long. Sometimes I do these like this. And what you could do with this is you don't even have to put a picture. It could be just a nice word label to sit on the bottom of your page. In this case, I'm going to put this one together this way. I'm not going to staple this one because of the way I'm going to layer it. I'm looking for my... I wished I had my words available. Oh, I do. They're actually right beside me. Uh-oh. He probably wants to play on the computer, and his parents are trying to keep him. He loves to watch YouTube and play his video games. He's a nerdy like that. Jacob, can you do some of your letters for Tia so we can get $1? Tia has $1 down here, so why don't you do a page of math, and Tia will give you $1 to go in your snowman jar. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to glue that. Oh, I forgot to put the lid on this. It's hard sometimes because his mother is probably on the phone and his father is probably on the computer, but they'll tell him no to computer time. Now, I know they're the adults, but if you spend all day on your phone and your computer, it's hard to expect a child not to want to do the same thing. And I love my computer and I'm on it. If I'm usually watching TV shows or YouTube videos, and I'm always crafting. I craft all day other than when I have to cook or clean. And even right now, the reason I'm just doing this because I just want to show you an example. I went to my first page of letters. So, mind you, this doesn't go, but no, it doesn't show up well enough. Let me go to, let me just pull this out just to show you. I'm not going to use this one, but then you could add just that to a bottom of a page, and it doesn't have to necessarily go straight. And there you can add that just with a word saying. And that looks great on the bottom of a page. You could do this even in a smaller form and use a one word and to be able to put on a tag. So, you know, keep making yourself a variety of sizes so that you can use them for different things. This one just didn't come together for me because I didn't just come across the right papers for it. I didn't have many long. Oh. No, I need something different for that background. Oh, move that journal out of there before I lose it in there. I help a lot with Jacob. I guess I have a natural, I've always had a natural knack with children from a young age. It was what I was studied in school. I didn't go any further. I wanted to be a librarian is what I really wanted to be, but I didn't have the grades for university. Let's see. This is where scrapbooking paper, these papers come in handy, because sometimes they're perfect. I wish I had an orangey color, but I don't. You can add in, no. So sometimes you struggle, and in a few minutes I'm going to just call that one quits, because for some reason it's just not coming together for me. And there's nothing wrong with saying, oh, skip it and throw it back into the, maybe this will work. Ooh, let me pull it out if I can get it out. I wanted this to be kind of like this too, because I like these for sides. So for now, what I'm doing is I'm stapling it. It would probably be glued, but because I'm not sure about it, this way I can think about it and I can change it if I want to. So let's try. I'm just trying to pull out different things. This will be my last one I'll do on thing. And again, I love to see what you do. So please, I like that. So please, if you're part of Junk Journaling Craft and Chat and you're watching this and you do some, please go ahead and do some and put them on the group page, please, because I would love to see them. I like that idea so much up there. I'm making another one of these because I just found some paper that I like. It's a longer one, but I don't mind that. Again, I'm going to just staple it because I prefer a staple sometimes, because I think I might add something more to that. But at least it's a beginning of one. There we go. That's just by pulling out things. We haven't made a lot. Well, we made more. I just haven't torn them. To be honest with you, I have more of them. And I've been doing smaller ones. You can do larger ones too. I have a harder time with larger ones with scraps. I don't have a hard time making larger ones using digitals. I'll show you an example just to show you. If I can find one. See, I don't have a hard time making large ones when I'm using a digital. This is a digital, this is a scrap digital. Well, this is a stamped image. See what I mean? This is one of my stamped images. And larger ones, I don't have a problem when I've got digitals. Again, it's scrap, 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 ink, and a digital. So I used a combination of different ways to do it. Again, one of the longer ones. So that was a scrap, scrap, another scrap, and then a scrap lace, and then 3 digitals. So I don't have a hard time making larger ones. It's using all scraps in larger ones I have a trouble with. And like I have some people's, some of these digitals clusters are in here are ones people, again, it's scraps, and this was, somebody sent me this nice stamped image, and this was a digital and a digital. So, and this was paper bag, black cardstock, and so with that, like most, very rarely do I use all, but technically this is a scrap. I just took the scrap envelope and I stamped on it. So technically it is a scrap, but it looks like a digital. Here is one I made. Again, it's scrap. All 1, 2, 3 pieces of scrap. Well, actually 4 pieces. 1, 2, no, 3 pieces of scrap. 1, 2, 3 pieces of scrap. Yep, I'm right. This was a scrap, but it had a number on it. It was a collage sheet, and it had a number. And so I saved that, cut around it. Then some pearls and a digital. So most of my, even when I do use digital things, again, this was all scraps. And believe it or not, this is a scrap I cut from cardstock. So scraps come in different things depending on what you have in your thing. This was a piece of cardstock, and I was like, oh, I don't know what to use, so I cut the flower out. Now, I don't really do these shades a lot, so I think, but I love how it turned out. It makes me want to do a journal in just black. Again, here we go. Scrap, and then, of course, I used a label, a ticket, and a digital. So, oh, here's a scrap. All of it is a scrap, but one piece. Scrap, 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 scrap. And then I did a stamp, and then I took a scrap and stamped a butterfly, and the only digital I used was the label. So the majority of that is made with a scrap. So there's different, I mean, there's all kinds of stamped images. To me, look really nice on these. I really like them. And again, this could go nicely if you add it. I've been doing this a lot lately, where I add the tag to this, and I'll put it at the top of the page or the middle of the page. And it also, and it can be, because it's long enough, it could be just glued here, and could be a small tuck space as well. So the clusters, I mean, they have a lot of use, and so it's one of the things I like to use a lot of. I love using clusters. I'm one of those ones that like to decorate almost every page. It's why a journal takes me so long, even if it's just a stamped image at the bottom. I like my pages to have a little something. So that's where some of these little scraps come in handy, because on a writing page, you might not want something really big. So put a little small thing with a little stamp on it, and it just sits in the bottom, and there's still lots of writing, and it just adds something. So that's what all of this is good for. Now, I'm going to make more clusters eventually. Again, here is scraps. It's all scraps. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 scraps. Like I said, 3 to 4. I've got a piece of lace, the stamped image, one of my faux pas buttons, which I do sell, and some string that I tied the button on with. There's no digital in that. Well, technically, nope, this is a music paper that I made the button with. So you necessarily don't need digitals to make pretty clusters. I think that's really pretty and looks great. Again, here we go. It's all scrap, and I told you about how even with, sometimes it's all stapled. So this one can sit any way on a paper that you want it to. And so, and you could add more to it if you wanted to add a word, a sentiment here would be perfect. If you wanted to add a butterfly to it, you could do that. And you could add a picture if you wanted to. I just loved how it looked, so I didn't worry about it. This is not mine, this is somebody's, but I'm going to show it because it's perfect use of scraps. So they've used scrap fabric, and it's very simple but very pretty, and it'll look beautiful on the bottom of a page or as a tab. Again, I could easily add a tab in there and turn it into a tab to decorate the tab up on the top of the page if I wanted to. It's up to you. Here's one with stickers. I'm just showing you some ideas. It's all scraps. This was made for me, and they put a sticker on it. So if you don't have digitals with your scraps, there's easy things. I mean, just look what you have. Again, look, I have this and I've got no decoration on it. It shouldn't be in with the completed. So here I go again where I've just put it, I hadn't finished it. I don't know why I didn't staple that, because it's technically that's the way I want it. I think the only thing I want it to do is I might turn the picture around this way, because I probably would use this upright. And you know what I'm going to do, because this really is completed. I wouldn't add any more to, well, I think I might have wanted to add lace to it. That's probably why. Because sometimes I do that if depending on what journal I end up using it in, I might want to add a little lace into it. That was my thought. It's completed because see where I use scraps, lace, and a stamped image. So if you don't have digitals, again, I sell a lot of this stuff, and if you don't have stamps and you see something pretty, tell me, oh, I would like a bunch of the, I can do 10 of these, 20 of these up for $1 if that's what you want. You message me in Purple Hearts Creation, or comment below in the two, say, oh, I love that stamp, would you do some up for me? How much? I want 10 of them, how much would you charge? I'm more than willing. I love that. Again, here we go. Scraps, lace. I used a little thing, and only digital used was that. So this, believe it or not, it is a digital, and it's off of a collaged. And so it's a scrap, but I might put a button here. I may, and I may not.
Is it for you?
It might be. Thank you.
It's for you?
Yep. Wait, you guys are going to see me open something, because my little man here, he wants to see it opened. Yes. So we're just going to open this up so you'll see. I'm not even sure. Oh, where did I get this from? Does it have a note in it? Oh, look at that. I don't know where this came from.
Somebody message to you and did that for you.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, it's from AliExpress. I ordered this from Ali. It's different laces. That's what it is. It's from AliExpress.
It's for you?
Yep. I don't think you want it, do you?
No.
Well, guys, on that note, we'll call it quits for the day. So I hope you got some inspiration from these. And I want to see, even if you don't belong to the group and you do some of these, you can leave a picture in the comments, and I will enter your name into the draw for that. All right. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm really late start today. I was a lazy patootie today. I just sat on my couch till almost 1 o'clock, either playing up games or just watching TV, just doing nothing. So I'm a little late on everything. It means I'm not going to get much done in this line. And yesterday I didn't get much done because after I made the video, we decided to go on a road trip and didn't get back home till 7:30. And then I helped do a few things around the house. And then by the time I sat down at my chair, my cats wanted just me because I've been gone for so long. And Boo Boo just stretched across my desk, so I didn't get anything done. So today we are going to be making Scrappy pads. This is all a part of the Junk Journal Craft and Chat January Let's Get Organized, and week 1 is scraps. So we've been organizing our scraps and using up our scraps. So as we begin to create in this new year, we have some space for new scraps. So some people don't have a lot, some do, I do, and I still haven't sorted my last box. I got a lot of the little papers around done, and I figured that was a better thing to do than to do the box since they were contained instead of in little piles around. So that's what I did. So, and those that have been joining us, both in Junk Journal Craft and Chat, and if you're just on my channel, if you subscribe, your name will get entered into a draw. If you like and comment my videos, you have to do both like and comment because they don't show me who comments. It just shows me a check mark. But if you comment, then I know it's you. And also, guys, it really does help me with my algorithm, or however you say that word. I can never pronounce it. Because the more comments and likes I get, then it shows more at the top where more people will start to see it. So it would really help me by making a simple little comment. Would really help me because my views are up. I'm getting 30, 40. One day I had 52 views, but no comments and only 1 like. So guys, please, nothing happens if you like and comment. Or anything like that. So it just really does help. I've been learning more as I've been doing this, so I've now started making sure I like and comment on videos that I watch because I realize that's how it helps fellow Junk Journal YouTubers. So so that's one way. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're part of Junk Journal Craft and Chat and you participate, for instance, the first day was showing your scraps that you had to sort. And if you showed your picture, your name went into the draw. The first thing we created, I think I did the Scrappy hearts. If you did those, your name will go into the draw. Then I did another one where we did a master board and we stamped on it. And either we fussy cut or tore it around. If you show me your work, you get in there. Tag Tuesday, the same thing. If you made some bases and use some collaging, for instance, mine are sitting here because I'm going to be finishing them up this week when we go and do fussy cutting. So there's my tags I did. So they're sitting here. And some of these tags, most of these tags will be going into the prize. And maybe a couple more because I'll make a few more. And they'll all be decorated. I might send some plain ones. I might send you just some bases as well as some decorated. A mixture of both will go in the prize. You will get, they're behind me. I meant to bring them. So all of the ones I made will be divided up between the 3 envelopes. And they will go to new homes of the winners. So you get, well, like right here, if we got 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And I'll pull one more out of my package. I have other ones made. So then you will get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You'll get a total of 9 Scrappy hearts in your prize. Then you will get some of these that I did. As well as you will get some stamped images that I do. Not this package. These are the packages that I have to take pictures of and put in my shop. But you'll get a bag like this with them in. And then today we're making we're doing some what I call Scrappy pads. There's so many different ways of doing them. I can't remember every person that I saw make them. The one that sticks to my top of my mind is Rachel. Oh, I know her first name, Rachel, but I don't know her YouTube channel name. Rachel, I'll think of it in a few minutes. So these are a style that I got from her. In hers, she puts a digital image, but you don't have to do that if you don't. If you have a magazine image and you want to use it, or you can just do paper. And so, you can make it as big as you want. But the great thing is you can turn it over and write. And we're going to make a style of this. And so she sometimes puts lace in it. She does them all different ways. I put a little tag in there that I had, and different size paper. It also looks really pretty sitting in a journal too. So we're going to make that type of style. So those are different ones of that style that I made. And I actually keep them in a separate envelope. I have a box because I love Scrappy pads and I keep them on hand quite often. This is my Scrappy pad box and this came out of it. So when I'm cleaning up sometimes my desk after doing something, if the piece is too small, sometimes I paper clip it in here because I can use it in Scrappy pads. So they're folded and ready to go into Scrappy pads. I do that quite often. Even this one I went as far as putting it together into a Scrappy pad. So I do that sometimes. I'll just, when I'm cleaning up maybe from a bunch of something I was doing, I do that and then I tuck it to the side here. And then these are ones here, different styles, and I make them in different sizes depending on what I want to do. Let me show you. So we're going to do a few of these. So there's just different papers and you do what you want with it. If you want to ink it, you can ink it. If you want to put, so they're just basically, this one's ready. I just haven't put that on it. But sometimes if it's a nice, like this beautiful paper, I went into my clusters and I found a cluster I want to put on the front of it. And it's just got a selection of paper in it. Oh, that'd be paper, they clip that. So there's so many ways of doing them. And you don't have to necessarily, I'll probably eventually put a cluster. But some of them I would never do anything. If I put anything, I might tack a little piece of lace here. Just something small. And then some of them you can go as far as even putting a little decoration on different places. So, I think I have one done where I decorated more pages. See, in this one I haven't done anything, but I did put those there. Oh, so here's what I did. Like, even I just put a little skinny piece because look at how cute it looked just sitting there. And see here on the end of this page, I put a little digital. On this one, I put a little stamped image. Here I just stamped bonjour, some lace. So you do what you want. Because it had so much peeking, I just wanted to put a little something. And it's a larger one, as you can see. That's great for in a side tuck. Even if your pocket's wide enough, it sits nicely. So that's just a few of them that I do. And sometimes I do them where all the sides are, where you see. Sometimes I keep the papers enclosed. I'm really liking this more and more. And as you can see, I have a blank cluster that I made, but I haven't decorated it. So there's different ways to make them. This one here, as you can see, I just did a little collage. I put a little, just punched out a heart, put a lace with a button, I stamped, just, just a little something. Sometimes I do when the page shows a little. So it's up to you what you want to, how you want to do them. We're not going to make this pad because this is not really, it is scraps too, but this is a newer one for me that I haven't got a lot of practice yet doing. And I don't know, and that, like, see, you can see that sometimes I have them made, but I haven't put them together yet because I just had, when I was doing something with scraps, I wanted them used that way. So as you can see, I will put papers together, and I'm going to pull these out because technically these are scraps that I need to get used up. And so they're together. So I always, these are, oops. See, this one isn't even stapled. I think I stapled this one. And sometimes I don't decorate them because I don't know what it's going to end up in. So sometimes I want to put it to the theme. This is just some wallpaper I put on the front cover. Now you could leave that like that, or you could cover it with another digital. It's all up to you. So we're going to work on that. I'm going to leave those out because they technically need to be done, because these are all technically all scraps. I just kind of organized the scraps. As you can see, I have a lot of them already ready to go. That's got to be a project to complete those so they're set. Another one I do, and I don't have a lot of them made, and I should, and I'm going to do some today, is I make these teeny ones. I got to fix that pocket, I just realized. And I like them because I made this big pocket, right? And it's got 3 pockets. And I made this little one with this little notepad. And I put a little tag, and then I just put some narrow papers. And it can be written on the front and the back. And then I keep the digital to the outside. And I really like how it looks in a journal. Well, I couldn't think of what a journal is. This one's almost done. I have a lot of almost done. I need to complete them. Okay, so the first one we're going to start off with, I'm just going to put this to the side for a second, because I already, now I have 2 sets of paper surround. I've got my bucket with all my little scraps, and then I pulled out my pages with bigger scraps. So that, because with some of them you want bigger scraps. So I have those as well. But I remember the other day when I was in this doing stuff, I seen things. Now in your scraps, you can put this in as well because it looks really neat. Now I'm funny because sometimes I don't like white. I'm very bad for that. But it can be used. It's just, you know, we all have our little things we like and don't like. So it just all depends on you. Which one was it in? I think it was in these ones. I'm just going to pull out my bags because we're going to make a little one. So I'm going to grab some scraps. I have this one that I can use. Sometimes I like using these. I save those for clusters. But I'm going to pull those up because that is good for scrappy pads too. So we'll pull those out because we'll use all those. That's good too. So pull those out to use. Whoops. And the little flyaway one. Sometimes when I'm making some scrappy pads, I do print paper and use it, and sometimes I go into note paper and use it. I don't have a problem doing that. So I'm just pulling out various different types of scraps and different sizes that I might want to use. Not cooperating that well. Just quickly sorting. The reason sometimes when you do these, you don't want to do it. I won't use that, but I'm going to throw that in my little scraps, but I will use that. And I'm not going to, because sometimes you want it to look scrappy, so you don't always, see, I've got lots of little pieces, but I don't have a lot of big pieces. I don't know why that good cardstock is in there, but I'll pull that out another time. Sometimes I don't know what I was thinking when maybe it was just I was sliding it in there quickly out of the way and got it into the wrong. See, this one is perfect for their pads, other than it doesn't have writing on the other side, but that doesn't matter. I can ink that up and you can still write on it. These I like to use. This one I had set for a pad like this. So we'll pull some out because sometimes that's another good one to fold in half. So I just go through and that's a good one for tall ones. We'll leave those out because we might use a couple of those. And of course coffee dye comes, this is where sometimes I save my coffee dye for when I'm making these scrap pads. Okay, there's some, and I haven't even touched the digitals because sometimes I leave the digital in the bag till I'm looking for something to put at the front. So let's start with one of the really skinny ones. The only thing I forgot is my brads. Just one second. Let me grab those. Because we will need those. When my stapler is there. And we'll need one other little thing I have. I don't know what it was meant for, but I use it for something else. You'll see a million little holes in it. So, here we go. I will need that. So we're going to make a skinny one first. Let's pull out some of the skinnies. A couple of skinnies here. And sometimes the hard part with the skinny though, depending on what you plan, how big the pocket is, sometimes they don't always fit. So it's good to do a variation of sizes. So I think that'll be enough for this one. And sometimes I'll keep paper clips handy. I don't have a lot. And I'll just do this first because I'll put a bunch together first, and then that's all the same color. I don't want all the same color. I have a lot of the same color, that's the problem. And you can ink these up if you want. That's your choice. I don't have any more skinny, but of all the same color. Do I have anything over here? Oh, I have that, but that's the same thing. So what we'll do is we'll put it to the back. I like a mixture of different types of paper. You can do it all the same. Like I had planned to do that with this one. I had that packing, the paper that you pack it in. I could even, if I wanted to give it some contrast even, I could add that in. So it can be almost anything. And if you want to make a little wider paper, you have those. What I might do is do a mixture. So we might do, let's throw this in here, this to the front because it's got a pretty design on it. And let's grab that one. And then that one. There we go. I don't have a lot of skinny. See, that's the hard. And there's nothing wrong if you want to do mass making of these and you're not using up scraps. Grab a piece of paper and make strips and make them up if you're going to mass make them. Right now I'm just doing scraps. So it's depending. Let's do this. No, will this look good folded? No, it's a little narrow. We'll save this for the bigger pads. So we'll put those aside for now. Boop, boop, boop. We'll come back to those. With that, we'll just put that tucked here. So now in this case, because I'm technically not going to decorate it with you, I won't fully ink them because you don't want me to sit here and ink every little piece of paper. It'll take forever. So I'll probably go back later and ink them up more. Okay, so in this case, with the long narrow, I would put a piece of lace, and I just happen to have that sitting there, just because I like that. If you've seen it in there, sometimes I go ahead and I just take my and I don't put it real close to the top, just so that it doesn't tear. And I still paper clip it together because I'm not quite ready. And because I'm going to put that there. And here, now I do use digitals on this. Again, you could take, for instance, remember these little tags I made? You could put a little tag in there. And if you have a stamped image, you could put it on like that. If you have a punched out heart, you could do that. Oh, I do have a punched out heart. You could put just a heart here and turn it this way and punch it like that. It just all depends on what is available to you to use. Now, if you have, like, let's just say you have a long cluster, maybe not that because it's you could put it in there too, but you wouldn't see the lace as much. So it just depends on the look you want to go with. I'm not going to put one here for now because I'll probably use a digital in this. So but I can still put the brad in, because the great thing about the brad is I can just pull it out. I'm going to need some of these soon. I better get and order some, because I'm going to order them, because I find the cheapest place to get these is still Alley, but you have to wait a long time. And then you just put the brad through, and I just usually find a hole in the lace, and that's it, and put it through. Sometimes I have lace sticking up. That's okay. Let's take that paper clip off. I should have brought glasses because I can't see this. Oh, there we go. And then there you go. You got a little scrappy pad that can sit in a little pocket, which is really cute. So there's one. Let's tuck that to the side. Now number two, sometimes I'll just move that over. What do we want on this? And you don't always have to put lace. If you don't want lace, you can just do a nice digital, or anything. You have a little magazine thing that you might have. I think I'm going to do this one. Now a piece of lace would look good on that, and I could always come back and do that later. I just happen to have that sitting close by, that digital. I made that digital. That is mine. So I can't tell you where to go. Well, I do sell them, but I sell them already all cut up. I haven't got them on my site yet. It's one of the things. I've been doing this so much, so many videos, I'm finding it hard. So I've got to take, that's why next week I think we'll go to maybe only 3 to 4 videos, so that I have time. I got to really get stuff filled up for my shop. There you go. You don't necessarily have to put any more on that if you don't want to. If you want, and you want it to put a little stamp at the bottom, you could do that if you wanted to. It's just as fancy as you want to make it, or as simple as you want to make it. Both are very beautiful. There you go. There's another pad ready. See, once you get the initial paper set up, then it doesn't take very long. I pulled that off too soon. Again, we'll punch a hole. And this does have the beautiful paper here. So with this one, I probably wouldn't do anything more to it, because it's got that beautiful image to the top. Or you could put a piece of lace under this one and add there. Also, if you have, I don't have a long one, but I sometimes put a long ticket. If you have a big ticket to hang down there, I don't think, oh, do I have a long one just to show you? I do. I made some of these. I'm going to be making some of these to sell as well. So you could put that in there, and I actually like it, so I might pull that out and put that in there. And yes, it doesn't have paper, it doesn't have any color, but just, I mean, it's not hard to ink it up. And if all that white bothers you, just add your own color to it. I think this way sometimes we'll just add enough color to take away the dingy, and sometimes I'll just crinkle it, and there we go. Let's pull this now out. Should have really put my glasses over here. I have a hard time seeing that. Now, see what, because I already punched a hole, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just do that. And so sometimes because I've taken it all apart, I have to go individually afterwards. It's not as easy. That's why sometimes I paper it, clip it together till I for sure know. Oh, I can't see that one because I don't have my glasses. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to go get the glasses. Oh, good. There's a pair close by. I thought they were over by my couch because I was on my couch today just chilling. Being lazy, really. I have a ton of things I need to get done. But you know what? Sometimes you just have to take that moment and chill. So you can see why sometimes I just paper clip them so till I know what I want my final thought is on them, because it takes a little longer. Sorry, I have to pull this away, guys, so I can do it easier. So there you go. And there's another scrappy pad done. So that is that style. Now let's pull this up and out of the way. And then we'll go to these ones. So again, all I do is I have different, I'll show you, they're all scraps. I printed this and used most of it in a thing, and sometimes I'll always print on the back when I'm using them in my journals. This is, I don't even know what this is. This is a paper I found at it's a full sheet. This is some graph paper I printed, and this is another one I printed, and I used it for something. So depending on how you want the colors to look and stand out, sometimes I'll put the bigger piece to the middle, and you can play where you want your cover to be in this very easily. And I'm going to put this, I want it on this way, up here. And how big you want it depends on you. Just always remember, when you're making these, the more paper you put in it, the more bulky it becomes. And I like to see all, sometimes I do those, and then I do, and if you want, you can add, why don't we go ahead and we'll zip one more. No, I don't want that one. If I had a nice pink, it would be perfect if I had a scrap pink, but I don't have a scrap pink, do I? Do I have something in here? That might be nice there. And again, see these I could have pulled out to do a nice scrappy journal. That was because I'm making my niece a journal all done in turquoise. But I don't really have, I wanted a nice, oh, that's purple. This is something I colored and I didn't like how it turned out. So I put it in my scraps just in case. Might want to use a piece of it in a cluster or something instead of wasting it. Okay, so I think that one's going to stay that way. I really wanted some pink in it, but I don't have anything pink right now. Oh well. And again, you could add, if I don't have any, do I have any large music paper? My things are all out of order now. Coffee, lines, colored paper, music paper. Let's see. I have that one, but that's too long. Too long. And I don't really have, I never have much scraps in music paper, guys. Never, never, never. I really, most of the time I use the full page. Now I'm going to go into my bigger scraps here. See what I have in here. Oop, I don't want to be picking a million of those up. Let's see if I've got anything. I want to add one more in there. And this is just mainly white. That's just a cardstock. It's just mainly. I could add one of these in to give it just a different texture to it. Let's just cut that. That should now go in my other scraps because it's small. There we go. Put that back in there. Go into this scraps and see. What do we have? Found something. Somewhat. Okay. It's more purple, isn't it? That's okay. Oh, this suits better this way, so that doesn't work. But that'll be ready for another paper. We'll just end up putting this in, but we're not going to put that big size in it. We're going to tear that, and that'll be used in another one. Just wanted one more type of, you can't really write on that, but it does add a nice little crinkle to the whole thing. There we go. This is where staple comes in handy. I purposely bought the one I bought so that when I get long, this one is fine in the size. If I remember correctly. There we go. And you can decide how many staples you want in. Sometimes I only put 2. Sometimes I put 3. It just all depends on what you want to do. There we go. And that's done, other than I might want to put a little decor on this. This is where even one of those little scrappy hearts could sit on it. But I think it takes away from that beautiful cover. That's why sometimes I'll decorate the corners of the page and leave this. This would be nice with a word sentiment. So there's that. Now I wished I would have used that for the front, but that would have meant it was inside out. So there you go. And there's one of those scrappy, a nice scrappy pad done. I love making those. Those are one of my favorites to make. Let's see what I got in scraps here. I just clip them every once in a while when I'm cleaning up. This is probably one time I was cleaning up, and look, I just threw all the paper together so that it'd be ready to be used. Same with this one. Let's do that just because that's ready to go. Let's pull this open, see what we have here. That's got to go up there. That's because we kind of got this one ready to go. We'll put this here. So we got this nice, I think it's supposed to go this way because of the lines. Oh, wait, sorry, I already have this stapled. So I do have it stapled, and I left it yellow at the front, and this is a longer one. So sometimes in a journal that might not work, so I might have to trim it, or I could put it this way in the journal, and then when they want to write in it, they could turn it. So it is ready to go. So just at the time, it'll need some decorating. I'll still put it over here. Running out of place to put something. What else do we have here? Let's use this one. And again, because this is really white, I'm going to ink this one up. Right off the start. I'm not doing it the neatest either. If you want it white, you can do it white. That's not a problem. And yes, it's got a corner missing. I'm not worried about it. It's a Scrappy pad. You could even take, if you don't want all that white, you could take a stencil and stencil there. If you wanted to add something to that, not to be so white, and to give it a little more texture. So you could grab one of your stencils really quickly. Let's see, what do we want to, which one will we use? Let's use this one. And I'm going to just put my stencil this way. And I'm just going to use this color. I use a lot, as you can see, a lot of paints with it. And I should have cleaned this one, and I probably let it dry. I can soak it, I think, and get most of that off, but it doesn't really bother me. It actually makes it a little more sturdier. It doesn't tear as much when I rub it. Let's see how that's looking. There we go. And there we go. And now it's not so white anymore. So we fold that. So let's start gathering our papers for this. And in this case, this one might be a full cover. But I need I need a nice big piece. Is this big enough? Not really. But really, you're going to use, I think it's all the same size. So that's when I pull out this paper again and get into the nice big ones. Let's see what I can find. Ooh, yeah. Found a lot more here that I could make more narrow ones. Let's see what we can do with this for now. And again, I necessarily don't want it that big, so that's easy to fix. Where's my ruler? I used to tear it all the time, cut it, trim it with scissors, and I've been finding a lot of the girls just use a ruler, and it's so much quicker sometimes. Because I want this one, I don't want the end sticking out. I want it to be more I might have to use the scissors a little bit, but I don't think I did have scissors here, right guys? Yes, I did. Okay, I'm not losing my mind too much. You don't have to do that. I mean, you could have left that sticking out. So I knew that one would be too big. I want to go ahead and do that. I'll put that. I don't really want, it's pretty narrow. We could put that one. But I'm sure we have something bigger than that we could use. Oh, I know. I know. Went into my paper bag scrap. There we go. I think I'm going to take that off, and now we'll go into my itsy bitsy scraps. Put that here. That. And there you go. And again, I could stencil on that if I want. You could add, if you wanted a little pocket in there if you want. I don't do all that because it's just meant to be a place to quickly doodle. Okay, that's staple. Now this one, oh, it does fit. There we go. There we go. There we go. There's one of those done. So we got a couple of those done now. Okay. We have and they don't have to all be big. They can be small ones. So we're kind of coming together here. I think I'll put this one on the inside. And for instance, just say right now I don't have another paper I necessarily want to use in this, right? I can just, while I'm making my other ones, just leave it here for now, and I might, as I'm going through my scraps, I might find another one. There we go. See? And then again, I've got a lot of little ones here. So let me pull out this little one. Again, you might end up playing around with it as you go. And then you can make it stick out more this way. And it kind of gives it some length. And then we need a nice pretty, something that, a lot of times I go to my color digital for this. That one won't work. These might be all too small now. Maybe not this. Maybe not this. This might be just perfect. I think I like this. There we go. Voila. Where's the middle? And in this case, I'm probably only going to put 2 staples because it's small. So I'm going to, didn't want to staple. Almost bit my tongue doing that. Sometimes you do need your, use my hands on that because with the staples, you might need that. There we go. There's another one. And I'm going to do another one here. Already. Is that going to look? Again, yes, I already put a crease in this. No, that's not going to work. But I'm going to still do it because I like how it's going to look. goes back into my scraps. I'm going to need that again in a second. Oh yes, this one is ready. Let's jump back into our scraps. I think I only have really white scraps in here. Other than that, oh, it's too bad I put a thing in the middle of it. Now this would be good in a long one. I'm going to save that. I don't know what exactly I want to use that for, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. Where's my dyed paper? There we go. Do I have anything creamy in here that's big enough for it? Because it's really white at the moment. But I think we'll pull out this bigger piece. Tear it in half. I don't want it that big. If I put it this way, it's not wide enough. Once I put it in here, I might figure out. Ooh, I'm not liking that. Oh, maybe on the top I would like it more. Was that too wide to go into a journal? No. Nope, I can do that. And I have this I just saw. I print these and sell these in packages. What I'm not liking is all that white to the front, so we might stick that one in the inside. We'll keep this one here. And we'll put this one here. This like that. I kind of want one more longer one here. But I can't seem to find something. So while we make the other one, something might appear. So I'm just going to paper clip this one and put it to the side for now. So the other ones that are a little more, again, we're going to pull this back out. We'll need it. We're going to use this. Let's go ahead and do this one. So in this one, I have some different types of paper. This is the fatter version of that little one. Now, if you don't have these, you could always staple the top of it as well if you wanted to. There's nothing wrong with that either. You can do that as well. That's a little too big. That's a winter, kind of wintry. I just happen to have these digitals I found on my desk sitting there, so seeing what I have, if there's something handy. It's a mixture of different things, but not anything. Or do I want to just keep that small? And then again, you can move these around where they're like this. And then I'm not pulling out all my digitals because I'm just seeing if whatever I have sitting around my desk here. Oh, look I found more scrap paper. Tell you, I've got it stuck in all kinds of different places. All kinds of different places. Just seeing. Something I might have here. We might take that off. I kind of like it towards the top. But let's see what else we have. These are just stamped images again. Seeing if I have a big one. I'm kind of liking just that. Oh. Now in this case, some of these I would decorate much more, because you've seen the ones that Rachel, I'm still trying to remember her full name. As you see, these ones have quite large decorations to them, and some I even put a hole and tied them. See, this is where I layered a bunch of small pieces, right? I had 1, 2, 3 big, and then I lace a small piece, and this is just a punch I had, and I punched it out of the paper. But I think what it is I have too much going down. I need something going across, is what I think my purpose here is. So that butterfly that I put away, which I should have left out, because I kind of liked it with it, right? And in here I had thrown remember I told you I had punched out some things, but I really hadn't put them away anywhere yet. So let me see if I have a big punch. Nope, I don't have one of those. I was seeing if I had one of those punches I could put underneath that. Out of the ones, I punched these out of scraps and just threw them here to have handy. You could even, if you wanted to, you could even put a piece of doily in there. Let's just see. You could trim that up, and you could put that there as well. Ooh. Okay. Oh, we're going to do that. What do you guys think? I like that. But I still want something under there. And do I have it handy? I do. Again, I do sell these already punched out. I keep some already punched out. Oh, maybe it's not big enough. Okay. I thought that picture is a little too big. Okay. So that won't work after all. So we're just going to leave it the way it is. I think it needs a piece of lace, but I don't want to go diving into lace. So later I might stick, oh, I know what I have. I got this at a thrift shop and it was already all cut up and already dyed. This is a very neutral one. You know what? I don't think lace looks good on it. I think it takes away from it. So we're going to quit and we're going to go here. One more time, I'm just going to check this. That one I keep. I like the butterfly. I really do. So let's stop hemming and hawing over it and just do it. Just do it. I just keep going back to the butterfly. Now the problem with the butterfly, can I center it more this way and do it right here? Brad. Lift the brad up. There we go. Now, if you didn't like that, you could cut that off if you wanted to, but I like it hanging off the side. That's just me personally. There we go. We stopped hemming and hawing over that and just did it. Just did it. There we go. I'm falling off my chair again. There's another one done. Let's see what we got in these scraps I've layered together. See what we can build here. One that she does too. I need my book pages. This is where book pages come in handy. Oh, this one was set to do that. She takes that and she didn't do it, but it's what I did. I got a bigger piece of paper and I glued it on here to make it a writing space as well. So you just need to find a piece that's big enough, and it doesn't have to be anything on the back of it because it's going to go perfectly there. Do I have a large piece in here that we can use? I would have to tear that up, and that's just a nice back of a tag. Well, let's fail. Oh, I just knocked that down. Lots of pieces in here. I've lined. I have to trim it up a bit, but it works. Ruler. So we're going to just take a little of that off. And a little of that. Glue stick. Ugh. Some people, I'm all about giving it writing spots. Sometimes, I mean, you can do that, and then even on the back of it. Right now I won't do it, but even in the back of it, hey, I think we'll put it here in this. All right, but you can put a writing spot on the back of it as well. And nothing says it has to be a big piece. Only thing I would do in this case is ink the edges up. Let me open my ink. I really need to. I find some of this paper is hard to ink on the side. Sometimes what helps is if you take a piece of cardstock and you use it. We'll do 2 more and then we better call it quits because we're probably over an hour now. But I wanted to show you a lot of different styles. But I think we've seen a good amount of the difference. And there we go. We'll put that there. I like seeing different paper stick out, so sometimes I play with the paper. I'm not, excuse me, I have a little froggy in my throat all of a sudden. It's really dry. And I didn't get myself a glass of water before I sat down. So that one go there. And I am going to put this one in here. Like that. Pull this out. Put this one. Because I like the way that looks. I really want it to look. I'm not doing. too Christmassy. I'm not in the Christmassy mood right now. This one's too big. I want to do one complete one to show you. So I'm just grabbing maybe that. Oh, I kind of like that. It's tough because that bird one is really cute, but I think I'm going with this. I'm going to paper clip this for a second. Kind of like that. Problem right now, the lace I want to use, I don't have much of it left right now. So I'm trying to be sparingly with it. But I want to put it under. Let me see how it look under. Or it might have to be wider. And again, the lace can sit off to one side if you want. See, I think it needs to be a wide lace, and that's just not quite wide enough. And I don't know if I've got anything really as wide as I want to. Yeah, I think that one will work. I don't really see it much, and I don't want to lose it. Can I? You know what? The lace I got yesterday would be perfect. I'm gonna have to I only ordered a little bit of it because I wanted to see what it looked like first. And I think it's kind of perfect for this. It's kind of perfect for it. It is. It is. But do I want to do that, or do I want to go pink? Oh, we want to go pink. Okay, so we're going to cut this. I'm going to have to order more of this because I don't even know what I paid in total for this. It wasn't much. But now that I see the quality, I want it one of the, it's got a nice stretch to it. But now that I see, because I've ordered some from Ali, and it's got like almost a finish to it, and it's a little bit harder, and I don't mind it. I use it for some things, but there we go. So here we go, what we're going to do is I'm first going to punch my hole in this. This will be our last one we do because we've been going so long. But you got a gist of what to do with them, and I'll put some pictures up of it. And if I can find Rachel's video on this, I'll also link it below because hers are beautiful. And it's such a great inspiration. It's where I got my inspiration from on the ones that I got all that decorativeness to them. Okay, I punched a hole. Where is it? There we go. And she does different ways of fascinating them at the top. And oh, why did I do that? No. Forgot to put the lace, guys. Haha, forgot to put the lace. Let's get that lace. Let's hopefully I don't move the papers around too much. This can be a little tricky sometimes because, yes, I know I'm not putting the top because I want to see. Okay. There we go. Whew. That was a challenge. Jacob is upstairs playing Mario Bro on his Wii with his mama, and so he's excited. There we go. And that's a nice large one. In this case, what I might do is lay it under something hard just to get that digital to lay flat. But there we go. So today we made, and this will be pretty on one too. It'll be gorgeous on this one as well. Where did I put that pile of digitals? And you can make small ones, big ones. I was just looking, like this one is pretty much done. The only thing is, I'm going to paper clip it to it because I want to ink up the pages a bit because there's too much white for me. So I'm going to just put a paper clip on it, but I'm going to put that one on it. And I might try to find a bit of green to go in it instead. I have a nice green paper somewhere that I might stick in it to make that bird pop a little bit more. But I like that bird with one. So there we go. Let me put my lid on my glue because that one's already getting, and the lid for my ink pad. Oh, I buried it. So I still have lots here to make more, and I'll probably make a few more so that I can put at least 3 of them in each of the giveaways that I'm doing, because I have all this here ready set to make. Like, I even got this all in. This is a digital, and it comes like a little book. So I can go ahead and staple that even right now and call that complete. See, you can do this as you go, and you necessarily don't have to staple it at the time. Sometimes it's just sitting there. So there's another one done, like just like that. But mind you, and I've got more waiting here. Like, this paper is perfect for the inside of this. And this one is going to be one, I have it set to go in something. So I'm going to put it aside because it is meant for a journal that I'm working on. So I'm just going to put these papers back here because these are all my papers I save from my Scrappy pads. And I do that. You don't have to throw it in your scraps. You can throw it. Sometimes when I see papers that I know I'm going to use them for a particular thing, I put them here instead. I got all those ready, and so I just put them here. And then I have those ready when I want to make some more pats. And so there we go. And I'm going to probably finish that one up later. Again, this one, it's got folds in it, but again, it's a Scrappy pad, so it doesn't really matter. So what did we get done just in that long time? But when I'm making them without explaining them, it doesn't take me as long. But I just wanted to. So we got this one quickly done. I'm just going to probably ink that a bit like that. And you could still put a little something something on there if you wanted to. That would be your choice. Maybe a little Scrappy heart, or maybe a butterfly. Do I have the butterfly still handy? He just seems to be chilling on the desk here. You could put a little butterfly on it. You could make a smaller one and just put them in the bottom corner. You could put them in the middle. So you can add to this if you want. You could put lace around it if you wanted to add more to it. You know, you could do whatever you want with it. It's your Scrappy pad. It depends on how much detail you want in it at the time. This one isn't completed because there's just something more I want in it, but I will finish that one up later. So we got that one almost done. So we have the flip. We have that one. We have that one. I love making these little ones, and I think it looks cute. We have this one. We have this one. We have that one, that one, that one. And then we have that one almost completed, and we have that one almost completed. There we go, guys. There's our Scrappy pads. I'm looking forward to seeing them. There's also ones where, do I have an example where someone ripped their scraps up and did it with a doily? This was sent to me. I make these as well. I don't have any on hand because I used all mine. So they're great as well, using scraps and a doily. And then this is, the person made a nice little, see where they put the cluster to the top and left the ticket. And that, you can even do that in when you're making your cluster. You could do that there. So that's, and I keep that one in my pad. So there we go. All right. We have one more day of scraps, and that's tomorrow, Saturday. And we're going to be doing clusters again. But we're going to use, so if you're going to want to do tomorrow's, I should have told you this yesterday. For tomorrow's, you'll need scrap lace, scrap material, and your scrap paper. And if you want, you can pull your digitals. I mean, you can pull out your cardstock, and if you have punches, you can punch a few of these up, because I do use these as well in making some clusters with lace and that, and it comes out really nice. Thank you very much for joining me today. Please like and comment the video. It really does help. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I would really appreciate it. Join in the fun. Show me your work. Get entered in to win one of the prizes. And if I really get a lot and we get a lot of participation, I might even add another one. You never know what I might do. So, and again, you can follow us, join us at Junk Journal Craft and Chat, and continue the January Let's Get Organized with other parts of our crafting supplies and our spaces. Some people have rooms, some people have a space. And we'd love to have you over there with us. And again, I sell my stuff on Purple Heart Creations by Chrissy in Facebook. I'm starting a Shopify. I haven't got it completed yet. Don't know if I'll be keeping it because it costs money every month. I think it's like $16. And if I'm not making any money, I can't afford to pay that. It was free trial period for a couple months, but I haven't really utilized it well enough. Also, you can go to Ko-fi and you can donate buy me a coffee. And it helps me be able to continue to do this, as well as I have a fundraiser you could donate to my sewing machine fund. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.